Welcome to the Wed Pro podcast, the podcast for wedding professionals at any stage of business who are ready to become fully booked wedding pros. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, founders of the Wedding Business Hub. We help wedding suppliers grow six-figure businesses through organic marketing, mastering their sales, and building their networks, all without spending a fortune on advertising and with none of the burnout. If you are ready to grow, learn new strategies, and build a business and life you love, then this is the podcast for you. We have more than a decade's worth of marketing and wedding industry experience, and now we help wedding business owners just like you take your business to the next level. If this sounds like you, you're in the right place. Welcome back to the Wed Pro podcast, where we deep dive into the ever-evolving world of weddings. I'm your host, Katie, and I'm Roxy. And today we've got a really exciting episode lined up. We're going to be exploring the hottest wedding trends for 2024 and discussing actionable strategies to ensure your wedding-related business is prepared to thrive.
That's right. Whether you are a planner, a photographer, a wedding dress shop owner, or any other wedding business, in fact, this episode is packed with insights to help you stay ahead of the curve. But first, we like to have a little gossip at the beginning of these episodes. How have you been, Katie Lynn? How have you been?
Fine. Do you know what? I had a really chilled weekend, which is how I wanted it to be. I like to have lots and lots of rest and recuperation, and I actually really value those times of doing nothing. So I actually like to schedule them in. So the kids were away for a couple of days, and for the first time ever, we didn't jam pack it with spa day or let's go and away for a few nights or let's fly abroad for a couple of days. And we had nothing to do really. So we went and visited my grandparents that live quite far away, which was nice. And we went to a farmer's market. But other than that, it was just TV and nothing. And it was bliss. I'm not going to lie. I loved it.
It looked amazing. It looked like you had a really wholesome weekend. I think that's it.
That's what it was. It was just nothing. And I really valued it. And I said, actually, I'm glad we didn't jam pack it with. Sometimes I think when the kids are away, you think, oh, yeah, I'll grab the opportunity to, meet up with everybody and maybe plan a bit of couple time and go on meals out and stuff. And actually, I really just enjoyed the chill time. I felt really rested, which I like to feel rested, I do. How about you? How was your weekend?
It was really good. Saturday was a really mega busy one for me. I felt like I was a taxi all day, in and out, in and out. But then Sunday, something incredible happened. So my eldest was out with his mates, and then the hubby took the middle boy up to his mum and dad's, and then my youngest daughter, she was at her friend's. I had 4 hours of uninterrupted maths.
Nice.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, I did a bit of TV catching up on Sunday as well. And just as I was about to nap off, I was like, oh, I need to go and pick up the kids. But yeah, it's nice to be able to pause. And I know that you've been doing a little bit of work over the weekend as well, a little bit naughty, but it's good to schedule in some pause time, whether that's in the weekend or in your working week, isn't it?
And this goes for you lovely lot listening as well. Make sure that you are not only looking after your businesses, you are looking after yourselves as well, because it is so important.
It is. Right, so today's episode comes really about, because the trend reports are starting to come out, all of the kind of Google Analytics searches are starting to come out, like what are people Googling, what are the trends? We've been speaking to wedding business owners, but also reading a few of the trend reports that have come out already. And actually, we had a good discussion about this inside of our coaching circle. And we were like, what are you seeing coming forward in 2024? What are your couples asking for? And we wanted to give you kind of not only the trends for next year, but also the insights. What, it's no good knowing, oh, this is what couples want next year, but how can you incorporate that into your business? What can you be doing now in order for you to stay ahead in your business for next year as well and stay relevant?
Yeah, and it's really actually a really clever thing to even think about. It's not only, yes, I get to read the reports about what's going on kind of next year, is how can you use this information in your business?
For sure. So the first thing that we want to talk to you about is our first trend, and it's a significant rise in celebrant-led weddings. And there's been a whopping 49% increase in searches for celebrant-led weddings. And what's driving this trend? Well, it's all about creating that kind of personalized, non-traditional ceremony. Couples are yearning for unique, meaningful experiences.
So here's what you can do to implement this and take this knowledge forward into your business. You can consider offering services that are tailored to those kinds of weddings. You can also work with celebrants to create those personalized packages and showcase your ability to add that emotional depth and symbolism to the work that you do in the wedding industry.
Yeah, I think what is really driving this forward is that people aren't really looking for that kind of cookie cutter wedding anymore. It's more about personalized experiences, making the ceremony even more about them, maybe steering away from tradition altogether. And it's all about really couples showcasing their personalities or showcasing the things that are important to them, whether that's their culture, heritage, maybe parts of their family's heritage.
Yeah.
And in order for you to be able to stay ahead of the curve here, it's about how you can offer couples unique services. So maybe the option to put together packages that they want to be able to put together, maybe the option that you can work with other suppliers to kind of fill the gaps in the services or products that you offer, but also thinking about the emotional meaning behind maybe your service or what you do. Why is it that a client should book a videographer? Can you tailor that to kind of the emotion that the couple are going to really receive there?
So the next trend that we are seeing a rise in coming into 2024 are weekend and 2-day weddings, or even multi-day weddings. Couples are extending their celebration to go over not just 1 day, sometimes 2 days, or even 3 days. And I was actually speaking to a wedding planner who she has literally extended her own wedding to 3 days. And this offers so much more opportunity for your services. You can create comprehensive packages and collaborate with venues that can accommodate those multi-day events, and emphasize the benefits of weekend weddings in all of your marketing materials, all of your social posts. Loads of opportunities here to get more work coming your way.
Yeah, and I think that is that. If you can extend that service and extend that kind of revenue of that couple by having all-inclusive packages that go over a multitude of multi-day events, perhaps maybe you could help to organize the rehearsal dinner, welcome party, after the wedding brunches, whatever it kind of is. Maybe you could supply your product for those days as well. Have a think about whether, if you're in catering, you could come up with kind of a brunch package. So not only are they then having the wedding breakfast or the evening meal with you, but also then you could offer to kind of cater for the brunch the following day, or maybe the wedding rehearsal dinner the evening before. And this is becoming so popular. I'm at 3 weddings next year. At least 2 of them are being held over multi-day events. Actually, all 3 of them are. All 3 of them are. I thought then, but one of the couples are getting married in Disney, and that's over a couple of days. And then they're coming back to the UK and having a UK wedding as well. So that definitely counts. But the other 2, one is having kind of rehearsal dinners the night before, welcome dinners, welcome drinks. Then they're having their wedding, and they will definitely, I'm waiting for the kind of news that they're going to have a breakfast celebration the next day. But another wedding I'm going to is actually, they've booked the whole place for 3 days. So we're there from Friday to Sunday. And there's going to be, opportunities for you as a business there to come up with more services or come up with more products, so that it's also better for the couple, right? They're not having to source those things from multiple people. You can be the person that provides all of the problems to their solutions right now. So exactly what Roxy said, think about getting this into your marketing right now. Think about, blogging about the benefits of having weddings over a couple of days, or the benefits of having kind of a weekend wedding experience. Maybe showcasing previous multi-day events that you've done inside your business and, that you've been a part of, but then also providing them with that education and providing them with that gap in their knowledge as to, okay, what does that look like? Planting that seed that they might want to do that, and that they could get all of those solutions from you. So this is something to kind of really start to put into your business now. As we said at the beginning of this podcast, this is the stuff people are Googling now. This is what You know, Google is telling us that the trends are going to be for 2024 into 2025. So if you want to be spreading this across your SEO strategy now, whether that's marketing materials, social posts, blogs, website, into your services, into your products, get it into your SEO strategy.
That's definitely right. And another thing that you can do as well is those venues, like Kate was saying, one of the weddings she's going to, they're having it at one place over 3 days. What opportunities have you got there as a wedding business owner to collaborate with those venues? What services can you provide that's going to help and support them with those multi-day weddings? Because there'll be things that you can support with. So it's just about reaching out, networking, having conversations, and start doing that now, so that when those opportunities arise kind of next year, you're in prime position. Get in there before anyone else does.
And I think as well, it's really worth noting that as well, a really easy way to increase the revenue inside your business is not to have more weddings, but make more money from the weddings that you've got, or to reduce the weddings, but raise the price. So it's not always about, you know, taking on more wedding bookings. And if you can position yourself as, you know, the expert in weddings over a number of days, multi-day weddings, you know, think about, you could cut your workload, you could cut your weddings by a half, maybe even a third going forward, and still make the same money, if not more. So it's something to really consider if you've not considered that already. So the third kind of trend is kind of for all of you, maybe those of you that are in fashion, or maybe those of you that kind of do all the wedding attire side of things, but also this is definitely going to cross over into other trends. Yes, we're seeing it come up, and this is retro style wedding dresses. There's definitely a growing fascination with kind of nostalgia and individuality. And I think this is definitely going back to that kind of celebrant trend as well that we're seeing, that couples just want to kind of infuse their personality, whether that's harking back to different eras, and just really reflects that individuality that they've got, that they're more concerned with having a wedding that is truly theirs rather than kind of ticking boxes for tradition. But yes, this is kind of, we're seeing this come forward kind of in fashion, but it will definitely cross over into decor, stationery. We're going to see it across the board, aren't we?
Totally. And this is one of those things as well, another way that you can be setting yourself up as an expert, because you can be showcasing this across your social medias as inspirational posts and educational posts as well. And we know that when you are setting yourself up as an expert, that really goes a long way in helping build that know, like, and trust.
Yeah, I think a really key thing that you can do in marketing that's really powerful is storytell. So you can storytell to kind of emphasize how your product or how your service is going to reflect that couple's individual personality.
Yeah.
And perhaps if you are talking about kind of the retro theme, maybe evoke the charm of a particular area, perhaps. So if you've got packages, maybe you could tailor your packages to the confident bride or retro bride, or do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Use storytelling to kind of emphasize how each dress might reflect that bride's unique personality. But you don't need to just do it across dresses. You could do it across packages, or you could do it across stationery trends or service packages, what, you know, bouquet packages, whatever you want to do, and kind of try and match those up to, you know, a personality type, so people can really see. And I think that really hones into that kind of individuality.
Yeah, it really kind of helps paint that picture of their wedding and tells that story, which pulls out those emotions. And that's what it's all about. So our fourth trend is a soaring search interest in wedding gifts. And this is up by a whopping 313%, which is incredible, which shows that couples are on the hunt for unique and meaningful gifts.
This is kind of a bit of a surprising one, really. So couples are steering away from kind of that cash gift element, and really kind of underscores the importance of thoughtful gift giving. So here's what you want to do. You want to diversify any product offerings that you've got to include, you know, personalized or customizable wedding gifts. You want to potentially collaborate with local gift makers or artisans to offer exclusive items that people can only get from you. Invest in SEO strategies now We're telling you that this is up by 313% on last year. That is huge. So optimize your website for gift related searches, you know, maybe create a gift selection that appeals to
people.
Yeah. Create a gift selection that appeals to various tastes, maybe traditional, maybe quirky. And that goes back to that kind of individuality thing I said in terms of the retro trend. And just get promoting those in your marketing materials so that when people are searching for gifts for couples that, you know, maybe have a quirky personality or maybe are more traditional, or, you know, maybe they're homely people, maybe they're adventurous people, you can have these kind of things already there, either a blogging plan, pull together a gift guide, or maybe you can have like them in your shop on your website, however you do it.
And this actually, again, ties into that surge in people wanting more of a individual wedding and that nostalgia and that really wanting to create that feeling around their wedding. So it's no surprise actually when we really think about it that this search term is up, because gifts are one of those amazing ways that they can do that.
So the fifth trend is a nice creative trend, and this is the demand for either live art or painted elements at weddings. And, you know, again, we can spot the theme here, can't we? It's unique. And here's how you can kind of join in. So if you're somebody that is creative, considering offering some sort of painted elements service or partnering with local artists to be able to provide live paintings or art installations at weddings. You know, if you're a planner, could you collaborate with people who could do art installations? Florists are really great at this, aren't they? That kind of art installations as well. Showcase your ability to be able to transport the whole wedding atmosphere with creative and immersive visual elements. And this is really looking back on, we've seen more of this through this year, through 2023, haven't we? This kind of immersive experience in terms of beautiful backdrops and, you know, really great flowerscapes and art installations at weddings. We're just going to see more and more of that next year. Yes, with some painted elements as well. Painted cakes are up. Live art features at weddings where, you know, you have an artist that are there either to draw the venue or to draw moments of the wedding. We're seeing it on stationery where we have the painted element maybe of the venue, or maybe a little map that's inside the stationery as well. So yes, consider offering these things if you don't have them. Highlight these on your website if you do have them. Get it in your social media, pop it on your portfolios. This is what couples are going to be looking at.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of these kinds of businesses actually. I spoke to a live artist. She does watercolor paintings, and I thought that was so beautiful how you can be frozen in time in that moment. And another thing that I have seen on the socials actually, which again just making this ring true, is having a guest book, which is a canvas that the guests can then add their little mark on, and then the couple can hang that on the walls. Again, this is one of them things where if you think, I can't do anything with this. Yes, you can use this in your marketing. Again, blog about it, be the expert in your field to really show that you are very current and relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about taking this time over these next couple of months where maybe, you know, we're thinking about next year, we're thinking about engagement season coming ahead, and maybe you are a little bit quieter just to get your ducks in a row and think about getting these things sorted on your site right now. So you want to be relevant. You know, the amount of websites that we might jump onto and we think, right, we can tell from these pictures that we're looking at weddings from 6-7 years ago, and most of the time we are right, aren't we? And most of the time they'll say, oh yeah, that was from about 2017, and we're like, yeah, no, that needs to go. If a couple is landing on your website and seeing a testimonial or images from 2017, they are off. They want to see
1990, they are off.
Definitely. They probably don't even think you're in business anymore. But you know, it's all about keeping that current, relevant, updating your website with new pictures, updating your website with pictures of the trends that your couples are searching for as well. So last but not least, we've got the increasing popularity of saxophonists at weddings, and like that live music element that's just adding that touch of sophistication and uniqueness. And here's how you can hit that right note with your wedding. So if you're in event planning, maybe you can explore options to incorporate live music into your service offerings. Maybe you could offer that as kind of a sourcing thing that you do. And for those of you that are musicians or entertainment promoting saxophonists as a key feature as well, collaborating with musicians to offer customizable music experiences. But also, we were speaking to somebody last week that said, weren't they, that they're really seeing a trend for kind of that Ibiza vibe wedding style. So that are there services, packages, or something that you do, something that you create that can fit into those themes, and start just kind of popping it out there on socials, having it somewhere in your portfolio for couples to kind of to go through and have a look at.
This is one of those trends that is actually right up there, one of the top trends. I've just like the trends have just been showing themselves to me on socials, and I've not really joined the dots until we've read the report, and then we're talking through this. It's like, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that as well. And I bet you guys that are listening can fully relate, whether you're a celebrant and you've seen a lot more of those personalized bookings coming through, whether you are a bridal shop and you've seen those retro dresses kind of being requested a lot more. But it's really great to be able to, as we've said at the beginning, use these tips that we've given you today and really be able to propel yourself and get yourself ahead of the rest of the industry.
And I think if you are a celebrant, especially, you know, that first one that we said that they're up 49%, that's almost half of people getting married are looking for a celebrant, which is way up than any other year. And I know it's been steadily rising over the past few years, but hey, the penny has dropped and the tide is coming. So you need to be now thinking, right, let's get my SEO search terms in. Let's get my localized keywords in there. Let's get my localized SEO plan in place so that when couples are looking to book their celebrant, come engagement season, come next year, whenever it may be, that you have fully, you know, you're fully prepared. You've got the marketing plan to back you so that you do appear on Google. And that does not happen overnight.
No.
If you were to start now and you do a little bit every day, you probably see the results in about 30, maybe even 60 days. It is doable, but you've just got to chip away at it. SEO doesn't come quickly. It's not a marathon, and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's like chip, 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 and you can just slowly get higher and higher on Google. So, you know, things like blogging, things like including relevant keywords, things like meta tagging and getting all of the images. And if you are somebody that thinks, oh, I don't know where to start with SEO, go back to our previous episode. We've got an episode all on SEO that you can kind of listen to in terms of how you can get your head around it. But not just on that kind of celebrant trend as well, but if any of these trends that you've listened and thought, yes, I can implement that into my business, now is the time to pause and think, right, what's the plan? And there's no point just thinking, oh, okay, I'll wait for the couples to find me. No, they're not going to find you unless you are appearing for these search terms and you're putting content out there that resonates with them. So content out there on Pinterest, if you're on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever your marketing strategy lies, and SEO as well. SEO is a massive one that you should all be doing. But it's about you taking on this knowledge, listening to this podcast today, and adapting your business to be able to embrace the changes that are coming ahead. It's about, you know, continuously monitoring trends, isn't it? And just that's what's key to your success here.
We would love to know if you are noticing any of these trends or any more trends as well. And you can hop over and drop us a DM on Instagram at wedding_business_hub. We'd love to know kind of what you guys have noticing, but we do hope that from what we've said today that it's really going to help you set the wheels in motion for getting lots of bookings coming through next year.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more knowledge and probably goss for WedCon. That'll be coming up really soon, won't it?
Yeah, it will. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro podcast. Full transcripts of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.